Good morning and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today I'm going to be revisiting the Blackest of Deaths. This is the Meat Grinder edition. So this is the Kickstarter collector's edition of the game. I had done a video of the beta PDF a couple months ago, probably about 6 months ago, maybe even longer. And the game has since been revised, added to, and put onto his Kickstarter. The Kickstarter had hit its mark within 2 hours, so it was extremely popular Kickstarter. And Bloat Games is has been producing. Eric Bloat has been producing some of my favorite OSR games of the last, I'd say, year. So 2019 has been a really phenomenal year for Bloat Games and some of the products that they've been putting out. So, I encourage you to take a look at the things that they're putting out there. And this is just one of the newest installments of one of their older games that they've produced. So I'm going to do a box opening. So I have the box right here. I have a little bit of delay in the video, so if it looks like I'm a little bit off, I'm not quite sure why there's a little bit of a lag, but hopefully that doesn't translate to the video itself. So I am going to begin by opening up the box here, and then I'll switch to the view once I get the address out of the way. So here we have the box, and I've opened it up, and out comes, discard that. And so here we have the box top. I know it's kind of dark. Very black box, The Blackest of Deaths. Dire old school fantasy RPG by Eric Bloat. Nice, very blood red lettering. And now we're going to dig right into it. I haven't set up this camera just yet, or perfectly for covering this, so I might have to shift and alter it a little bit. This is part of the Unscripted and Unchained process, because you're seeing this really in real time, the same time that I am seeing it as well. The only thing I have done is made sure that it's the right game in the box that I'm opening, because I was expecting some other products from Bloat Games as well. And sorry about this, but you'll hopefully appreciate it when I'm all done opening it up. So let's take a look at the contents, and you'll probably notice that I open up boxes kind of gingerly. I don't like to damage my stuff as it's coming out. So here is there's a little sticker here. And here is first book. Here is second book. And I'll set the box aside. So let's take a look at what I'm assuming is the core rule book. And now, let's get this settled. And my camera's been a little bit wonky lately, so I apologize for that. So here we go. The Blackest of Deaths by Eric Bloat. And the thing that first caught me was this little line here. Wow, the binding is super, super tight on this. Your characters will die. When I first read that, I was like, all right, I have to jump in on this game here. And, I'm really going to enjoy something that is really designed for, your characters to live in a really brutal world, and a place where they're most likely not going to die. Most likely not going to survive the things that they're attempting to do, and yet they still do them. They still attempt to do them. So let's take a look at the credits here. So we have additional writing by James M. Spawn and Josh Palmer. The layout and editing is by Eric Bloat. The art is by Runehammer, Dean Spencer, Daniel Camerci, Jeremy Hart, Bradley McDevitt, Luigi Castellani, Nathaniel Roll, Rick Hursley, and Matt Murrow. Sorry about any mispronunciations. So we go into an introduction. And you could already see that the artwork is really, really cool stuff. I really enjoy their artwork. It's dark and it's gritty but still sharp imagery here. The pages are nice and glossy. Maybe a little bit on the thin side, but still nice and glossy. So here we go. Things to know before proceeding. So you have armor points. You have the Blackest of Deaths. So these are the abbreviations and such. You have charisma, core mechanic, constitution, difficulty checks, dexterity, the game master, hit points, intelligence, a modifier, NPC, PC, strength, and wisdom. So like all OSR games, it has these 6 attributes that all characters have. Here is the basic rule mechanic. I've always liked this about Bloat Games, is that they just throw on one single page the entire core mechanic of the game. And so you could basically tell, this is what I need to roll for 90% of playing the game. The ideas of hindrance and advantage. And like I said, I've gone over this before. I will link the older preview of this game onto the description of this video as well. I'm just showing you the new version of it, the basics. So let's see if I can find anything that really stands out as being new. So the races are Changeling, which is new to this updated version of it. Dwarf, Elf, Goblin. The Half Medusa, which is new. Serpentmen, which is new. Obviously, humans and Kobold. I think Kobolds is new as well. But without a doubt, the Changeling, the Half Medusa, and the Serpentmen are all new races, playable races. In many cases, the race is the class as well, which is a very old school mechanic. And this is a very simplified mechanic as well. So humans are going to choose their classes, and this is certainly an extended list of classes. So you have assassins, barbarians, beastmasters, fortune hunters, gladiators, menders, monster slayers, necromancers, rangers, street rats, war mage, warlock, and witch, warrior of the empty hand, which is basically a monk. And so we will take a look at some of these new character classes. Let's take a look at the warrior of the open hand. So I'm just flipping through, you could see. So actually, it doesn't read like well, yeah, it does. So you have spent most of your young life fighting in dank taverns, back alleys, and in local fighting competitions. These warriors live for the thrill of the fight, for honing their skills to perfection. Some of them are hot-headed bullies, while others can be chill Zen masters that only like to test their skills. And so basically your barroom brawlers and your Zen-like monks. Pugilist, dazzling strike, hurricane strike, swift like the wind, body of iron. Excuse me. So, and throughout the book, you have all of this art here. Some of it older. I've seen this image before, and some of it new. Sorry. I don't know what I've been battling the last couple of weeks, whether it's just allergies or, change of seasons. So the core mechanic, once again, they describe the core mechanic. And this is the Game Master's section. Then the monsters. And the monsters seems to have remained roughly the same. Various levels of vampire. A feral vampire. That's pretty cool stuff. Now, the other thing about Bloat Games is that they do have several other games out, like Dark Places and Demogorgons, which is kind of like your... it's kind of like your D&D / Cthulhu kind of, fusion. Then you have and that's also like a kids and bikes, kids on bikes kind of fusion to it. Then you have Vigilante City, which is a supers. Then you have this here. You have Survive the Zombies, and all of these games are compatible. You can take your character from one and transplant that character into another. Now, this is a much more medieval setting, obviously, but the character stats, there's ways that you can come up with how did they get into this setting, even though it's that same character. And there's certainly storylines that can produce that kind of thing. I forget the Michael Crichton story where a Marine goes back in time and ends up being in feudal France, a timeline. So you could have something very similar to Timeline happen as well. So, well, this is the core rule book. And, I mean, look at the detail on this picture. I mean, it's just unbelievable how cool this is. A Cyclops. So there's another whole section of monsters here. Let's see what we have here. This is something I wasn't expecting. Don't recall it from the other. Let's see. Expanded Monster section by Lombards, Justin Isaac, and Josh Beckelheimer. All right, so some of the third-party contributions have found their way into this book here as well. So that's a really cool thing. These are probably stretch goals that, various things have been added. So Shades of the Afterlife by Jody Brandt. So this is Questwise on YouTube. So we have Jody Brandt's contribution here. So yeah, these are definitely stretch goals that are included here. So that's really, really exciting to take a look at. Let's take a look at this second book here and see what we're dealing with here. So once again, the core mechanics, attributes. This might just be like the players. There's a terror mechanic here. This might be a player's version of it. So this is all that the players really need to have. Yeah. And then Now, when you purchase these and you get the if you get the PDF version as well, and this can all be purchased on drive-through. When you get this, you can also find the character sheets online, and those are obviously for free. So, once again, I mean, here we have just two more, another new game from Bloat Games, and they're really nice, nice packaging. I mean, this packaging here really does stand out. I can't wait to put it on my bookshelf, and I certainly cannot wait. I'm currently writing an adventure for this system, and I'm actually creating a game world. So my own homebrew game world for the system here. So this is something that I'm really excited about getting into. My first adventure, I've been writing for, quite a few months, just piecemeal here and there. Every once in a while I get around and, all right, let me do another encounter, another piece. I could certainly have that ready to roll, certainly by the Christmas break, which I'm really looking forward to that almost 2 weeks of time off, so I can get a lot of gaming done. So once again, if you haven't looked into Bloat Games, I really recommend that you go take a look at that company. Eric Bloat is a great guy. He's producing really good stuff. He's very prolific. He's been putting out stuff fast, almost too fast, Eric. I mean, slow down a little bit. But there's just so much goodness in these games. That's I just really like the way that you can bring other aspects of his games together into just one expanded universe almost. So it's almost like the Bloat Games universe coming together, where you could have supers and fantasy and kids on bikes and all of those things coming together into one kind of weird setting, and it'll work. It'll be believable. So really looking forward to doing that. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And as always, share the video, because that's the best way to get the channel boosted out there. And I post on to various Facebook communities, including my own, which is On Screen Gaming. And I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. You'll have a great afternoon and great upcoming weekend. I keep on forgetting this is the Friday after Thanksgiving, so it's a nice 4-day weekend for many of us. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you. Have a great afternoon.